this is the fucking stack, dude. Because some people, they take minoxidil and they don't respond. You know, shitty for them. However, a lot of these individuals don't. Watch more plates, more dates shit. So this is, if you sort by beard, you can see some of my OG content on how to double your minoxidil results. Important for non-responders. You can see in the preview here even. What's up guys, Derek, moreplates.com. Today we're gonna be talking about 6-month minoxidil transformation on the beard, not on the hair. Thanks for the advice, Derek. 6-month minoxidil transformation. So this is the before and after. We see a pretty, patchy beard, not very thick. And then boom, we've got Alpha Chad House over here looking like a fucking looking like a, I can't even goddamn say it, a Neanderthal. In a good way though. So he looks fucking good. He's like shaped out his jawline with the beard. It looks much thicker, much denser, much darker even, which is notable too that minoxidil may be able to do that as well. And it's kind of interesting because I'm actually at a state now where this is probably like the longest I've grown mine out for like a minute, dude. And every time I do it, I just, people say, oh, keep it or, grow it out. Some people say it looks worse, whatever. Everyone has their own opinion. And I usually just shave it. But this time I'm like actually considering growing it out. And I've never done, to be clear, the minoxidil on the face or on my hair actually, which is, by the way, something I still want to do. I just had, again, my schedule is so fucking rigorous with filming and everything that just, my topicals regimen is not on point right now. Just put it that way. It hasn't been for a while, but I want to get back to a more consistent, actual regimented approach to the hair loss prevention stuff. And if I'm using minoxidil on my head, like maybe I'll look at my own protocol for the face because I've seen multiple individuals at this point pull it off. And this is the tried and true beard stack that works very well. And we're going to get into it shortly about exactly what you need, which is microneedling and minoxidil. So again, did this individual use microneedling and minoxidil or just minoxidil? I'm not sure for certain, but let's say from crack addict to crack dealer, LOL. He's getting free coaching / dating advice from NPMD Giga Chads. Good for you, bro. At least you know what not to put on Bumble. God damn, you look like a brick house on the after pic, LOL. It was a good bulk. LOL, just regained the weight I lost. Took me a minute to realize you were talking about your beard. I was like, this guy wasn't balding at all. LMFAO. Went from Johnny to Jamal, from Brad to Chad, Tyler to Tyron. I hope Derek reads his comments. Did minoxidil also change your entire skull structure? What the fuck is going on here? Laugh my fucking ass off. I think it's the hair and angle, plus I gained 15 kilograms. Damn, you good? Face doesn't look fat. I'd say my dude's been making serious gains unhindered by lack of hair stress. I am awesome. The before pic was in lockdown in Austria. Didn't train and lost a lot of weight, just back to normal 2 weeks ago. Here we go. Did you derma roll at all? Been on 5% foam for the last 3 months with minimal gains. Just received my derma rollers. You gonna try that out tonight? Yes, 1.5 millimeters 2 times a week, 1 milliliter morning, 1 milliliter night minoxidil. Boom. So again, this is the fucking stack, dude. Because some people, they take minoxidil and they don't respond. Shitty for them. However, a lot of these individuals don't. Watch more plates, more dates shit. So this is, if you sort by beard, you can see some of my OG content on how to double your minoxidil results. Important for non-responders. You can see in the preview here even the difference in hair counts and differences in overall results between individuals who used minoxidil solo versus minoxidil plus microneedling. This was a minoxidil only group, so I would watch the video to see the dramatic disparity between the minoxidil only group and the minoxidil plus microneedling group because it's fucking huge. And you can see here by these hair counts, at least very briefly, like just go watch the video to actually see it. But KSI also did a response to basically I made a beard growth protocol for him because he's constantly complaining about not being able to grow a good beard. I made a video recommending him some things. It involved derma rolling, minoxidil, potentially castor oil. There might have been other suggestions in there as well, but those are the heavy hitters. Again, the main needle movers in the stack are the minoxidil and the microneedling. But anyways, he ended up responding to it. KSI reacts to my beard growth protocol video. And he didn't watch it very thoroughly, but I think he would have benefited from it if he did. But anyways, this is a notable one. This is one of the first ones I did where it showed proof that minoxidil beard gains are permanent after stopping. This individual had very, very minimal facial hair growth. And then after doing the minoxidil protocol, I don't even know if he microneedled. He was a pretty good responder. But as you can see here in the preview, he ended up getting a really significant before and after. He ended up sustaining that actually thereafter without using minoxidil at all. So that was one of the first times we found out that minoxidil beard gains are like actually permanent. You don't even need to stay on the minoxidil to retain them, which unfortunately is paradoxical because the hair on your head that you grow can't even fucking talk, with minoxidil is minoxidil dependent. As soon as you stop it, that hair falls out. But on your beard, does not seem to be the case. So, definitely be aware of where you put this shit. If it's not on your scalp or your beard, if it ends up somewhere else, and you think it's funny as a joke just to see if you can grow hair on another part of your body, it might become fucking permanent. Imagine just fucking putting minoxidil on your ass or something, ending up with a goddamn Neanderthal ass fucking perpetually. Not a good look, bro. Not that you would ever do that. Why am I even making a joke about that? Because hopefully no one would be that fucking stupid to do that. But anyways, continued. Meathead Chemist designs a beard growth protocol for KSI. He reacts to it. Great. Proved the minoxidil gains are permanent after stopping. We learned that. We had some individuals that had like literal baby faces turn into, full-blown beards using it. And again, like what does it boil down to? What did this, like he mentions here, 1.5 derma 2 times a week, 1 milliliter morning, 1 milliliter night minoxidil. Is that basically at the end of the day, you could get just a cheap roller, by the way. You don't need to get this. But if you're somebody who's using this for hair loss prevention, like for life, I would be getting the Derminator 2. This is the microneedling device that I use because it's way fucking more efficient. You can get it done 10 times faster, and the depth is literally calculated robotically, essentially, or electronically. It's not a fucking robot. But with the roller, you're using your own pressure to dictate kind of like how hard you're pushing in. You're also rolling, which may or may not tear the skin or your scalp because you're hitting it at an angle and pulling it out at an angle as you roll, versus this thing, it literally rapid fire punches holes in your skin at the exact depth that you want, like as little as 0.25 millimeters, upwards of 1.5 plus. Do you need to go 1.5 millimeter depth twice a week for this? I don't think so, to be honest. And again, don't ask me for like a concrete protocol on the facial hair one, because it's like, ultimately it's however much you can tolerate too and recover from adequately, because 1.5 millimeters is pretty fucking deep and irritating. So to do that twice a week, like that would be blood inducing for a lot of people and keep you red for multiple days. So doing that twice a week, like you might be walking around with like a perpetually fucking tomato face with like blood residue, essentially. Not like actual residue, but like barely healed, like micro wounds, essentially, perpetually week round. Not ideal. Like I don't think for absorption on the face, you need to be doing 1.5 millimeters. If you do it like once a week, okay, maybe, because that's the scalp protocol. But if you're doing it for your face just for enhanced absorption, like I think you could probably get away with like 0.5 millimeter, like every 2 to 3 days or something, probably. Like again, it has to be, you have to consider your skin porosity, the kind of like thickness of your skin, I guess, and just like how well of a responder you are to minoxidil too, of how aggressive you want to microneedle. Because ultimately, mainly what you're facilitating is enhanced absorption, because again, a lot of people don't absorb the shit very well at the end of the day, or they don't have as good of sulfotransferase enzyme activity as they need, in which case, one of the things that just popped into my head that was also in the KSI video, or it should have been, is adding tretinoin to your minoxidil, which you can do via a compounding pharmacy like Merrick Health, link in the description. If you want to get access to pharma grade tretinoin compounded minoxidil, this is for low or non-responders who want to become responders. You can do this by doing the microneedling plus a tretinoin compounded minoxidil preparation. But for individuals who respond, like most, a lot of people will respond to minoxidil solo plus the microneedling pretty fucking well. And those individuals, I think, would be able to get away with something like a 0.5 millimeter every other day, maybe every 3 days if you can get away with it. I don't know, like that's something I feel like you could recover from like a lot quicker, and then be able to get more like absorption enhancements in frequency wise per week. Maybe if you do 0.5 millimeter, you can do every other day, like relatively frequently. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Some of it's going to boil down to individual assessment of how you respond. But basically, all you need to do is get a high quality minoxidil product, the ideally a not greasy and like reasonably fast drying one. So the one I'm would currently recommend is linked in the video description below. This one is not nearly as greasy as the Kirkland stuff, which is a more cost-effective version though. So if you're tight on a budget, just go to Amazon or to Costco and you can get a shit ton of Kirkland stuff, but it's greasy as fuck. Makes your hair look terrible and your beard will also look pretty bad with it. If you want to use that, the cost-efficient way though, in my opinion, is again, if you're applying this twice a day, which is the recommended use. I think you can get away with once a day, but you know, the recommended use is twice a day, maybe more effective, is use like a more expensive, like nicer looking one in the morning application before you'd be going out and doing day-to-day activities. And if you need to be budget friendly, use the greasy like Kirkland one at nighttime before you go to bed. And then when you wake up, you wash that one off and then, you know, you apply the fucking, you know, good one and you can go about your day. That would be sort of my cost-efficient strategy for having it not destroy like your hair quality or your beard quality. Or, you know, if you just want to be go the full cheap out mode, that would be where you'd use the Kirkland stuff twice a day and you just got to deal with some grease. That would be on your scalp and on your face regardless, like whichever one you're doing. If this is for hair loss, for beard growth, like the stuff just does not look very pleasant, unfortunately. But this stuff is solid, so you can check it out. That link is description below. I'll also link the Derminator that I would recommend. This is more for like hair loss guys though, because hair loss is like a lifelong commitment for prevention. Whereas the beard thing, you could get away with like a cheap roller if you want to be cost efficient. I don't necessarily I think from a time saving aspect, like I obviously prefer this, but not everyone has the budget for this thing. It's like a $150, $200 device or something like that. Like for me, it was so fucking worth it, because I've used it for years. But for somebody who's just microneedling for like, I don't know, 6 months to a year to get beard gains, and then they're gonna stop because they can sustain the beard gains, yeah, maybe you just get a cheap roller from Amazon, and the depth, you might end up buying several because of trying different depths. You can't adjust the depth with a roller. You have to buy like a preset one. It has a certain length of needles on it. Kind of up to you though. Like for me, I think if you were somebody using minoxidil on your scalp, no brainer to be getting the Derminator 2. If you're using it on your face, you know, you be the judge. Or ultimately, if you're, you know, really tight on a budget, the roller will work on your scalp as well as your face. I just don't, like, it's obviously less time efficient. Manually fucking rolling the thing over your head is a bitch to do, and it sucks. And I think most people who have like pain tolerance issues with it, I think it's because they're rolling. Because you have to be the one putting the pressure in to like do it with. And you go so slow when you're manually doing it because you're the one controlling the speed and you're going in and out, like not that quick. Whereas with this one, you just put on rapid fire and you punch like a fucking 1,000 holes in your head in like goddamn 5 to 10 seconds. And it's just like, it's like ripping a Band-Aid off compared to like peeling a Band-Aid off is like what I would compare 1.5 millimeter depth rolling versus like a Derminator 2. So, you know, ultimately you decide on the cost effectiveness aspect, but I'll link both the highest quality versions, I would say, although the more cost prohibitive ones, linked in the description below because they help support me in the channel. It's the shit I actually use. But again, if you're on a tight budget, Costco, Amazon for roller / minoxidil. But anyways, yeah, this is a solid transformation and it's pretty representative of what you see with guys who like really do the protocol correctly and do the microneedling concurrently. The microneedling is fucking key, dude. Like it's actually the difference maker of like doubling your results in many cases. So this guy, I would imagine once he stops, he'll probably retain most of this, if not all of it. So that's the promising thing about this stuff is you can permanently enhance your facial hair growth to a point that you no longer even need to use the drug or the microneedling procedures. So anyways, yeah, that's it. Thought it was a good anecdotal report. Thought it was worth bringing to the surface. Congrats to Stevkey66 for the transformation. And yeah, that's it. If you guys want to support me, you can check out anything in the video description below, as well as the products I mentioned. I'll link them down there, as well as anything else that supports me, as well as link to my telemedicine clinic for getting access to actual pharmacy grade hair loss prevention medications too. If you're interested in finasteride, if you're interested in novel preparations like topical 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, if you're interested in higher concentrations of ketoconazole shampoo potentially, if you want to try a 2% versus, you know, the 1%, which like personally, I just use the 1% in the shower, but you know, some people may otherwise want to try the 2%. You know, it's a pharmacy required prescription in the States relative to Canada, unfortunately, where it is over the counter. But, you know, stuff like that, getting Axe or the tretinoin compounded minoxidil, probably the first thing I should have mentioned. That's something you can't really just get unless you're buying it like illegally. That would need to be a consultation with a doctor. If they deem it necessary, you know, you get a prescription for it, but that kind of stuff is available through the compounding pharmacies we network with, and that's linked in the description below, as well as anything else I'm associated with. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. I think I might have already said that. Helps the algorithm. It's much appreciated. Talk to you guys soon.